Welcome everyone to the CCNP T-Shoot 300-135. Before we begin, before I start letting you know what's going on with this course, okay, you need to have your CCNA before you can take any of these. Remember, the CCNP is 3 different exams. You got the CCNP Route, you got the CCNP Switch, and then you got the T-Shoot. The T-Shoot's all about troubleshooting of the stuff that you already learned in the CCNA, in the CCNP Route, and the CCNP Switch. So you need to have these exams before, definitely you need to have your CCNA, but don't start with the T-Shoot. Start with the Route, go to the Switch, and then do the T-Shoot, because the T-Shoot is all about troubleshooting. All right, so let's see what we're going to get into. We're going to talk about, we're going to discuss, we're going to look at different methods of troubleshooting approaches. Hey, they did that to me the first time I went to work at some outsourced company that all the companies outsourced their IT to them. All right, they sat us down in this training room. They said, okay, how would you attack this problem? The problem was customer calls, he can't hear the radio. I mean, he can't hear the radio. He can't hear sound coming out of speakers or out of the computer. What could the problem be? All right. Nobody knew how to answer it. We knew where to go and what to do and things like that, but how would you attack it? You know how to configure things, but how would you attack a situation? And he said, well, go by the easiest way first. Do you have the volume turned up? Well, yes, I do. Are you plugging in your speakers to the correct jack? Okay? Or to the correct port, I should say. And if that's okay, and it still can't hear any sound, then you go into, well, it could be the driver. Did you install something? Things of that nature. So think about this course as a troubleshooting course and approaches to troubleshooting. How to collect information. There's a myriad of different tools out there that exist, okay? You can there's tools within the Cisco iOS and the Catalyst switch and in the router that you can use, okay? But there's also third-party tools out there, one of them being like SolarWinds, that you can use to collect information of your network, okay? Tools for documentation and maintenance, okay? Documentation, and you're gonna hear me say it throughout this course, is key. You need to document whatever you do. All right, if you're creating baselines or whatever it is, you need to document. And obviously, tools for maintenance, we just mentioned SolarWinds. There's going to be a million tools out there that we'll be able to use. But to maintain, you need to, just like your car, you got to tune it up every once in a while. Same thing with the network. You got to keep doing some maintenance on it, okay? But you need to have some baseline. We'll talk about that as well. Baseline that you need to create. So those numbers or whatever information you're looking at, it's not arbitrary. You can compare it to something, okay? We're going to look at switch and routers performance. What's causing them to slow down? All right, we know about routing protocols. We know about VLANs. We know about VTP. We know about all these things, but what is it that we need to look at, okay? And why is the performance of this going on? It may surprise you when we get to static routes what I'm going to say. Okay, because it's like, well, wait a minute. But it's true. It's true. Okay, so there's things that we already know, but now we need to look at it at a troubleshooting standpoint. Trunks and VLANs. We know about trunks. We know about VLANs. We know how to configure insert VLAN, configure it. We know all that. But if it's not working, what do you look at first? How would you how would you attack the problem? Things that commonly go wrong. We'll be looking at those things. I'll be listing them out. Things that commonly go wrong. And you're going to see this redundant throughout the entire thing. All right. The spanning tree protocol. We got to take a look at that. Static and dynamic routing protocols. We're going to take a look at all of those. Okay. And you're going to see, be like, oh, okay. Because if you know how something works, then you know how to troubleshoot it. If you know that this needs to be configured, then configure it. Small example, IP addressing. 9 out of 10 times is an IP address problem when it comes to configurations as far as packets getting from one point to the next. Wrong mask, wrong gateway, wrong IP. All right? You'll see, especially in IPv6, because we would be doing both IPv4 and IPv6. And a lot more topics that will be coming up. All right? This course is going to continuously be updated for weeks to come. There's a lot of information that I want you to know. And again, troubleshooting comes with experience. That's why I've always told you, if you're doing your lab, whether it's lab equipment, on simulators, or what have you, be happy if something goes wrong in a lab environment, okay? Because that way you learn. That is the only way you're going to learn. Because if you walk into the utopia of IT and everything works right off the go, that's it. You configured it correctly, nothing ever happens. There is no broadcast, nobody plugs in nothing different, everybody gets the memo, nothing happens. Gadget the mouse and not eat through the cable. You know, something is always going to happen, and sometimes some weird stuff happens. You're like, how in the world can that be? Be happy for that, because you're going to need that. And this course is going to tell you straightforward, straight to the point. Because you're going to hear me say, hello, you're running RIP, you know it's 15 hop counts. How can the common issue be that you went over the hop limit? How is that possible? Do you not know your network? All right, so these are the things that this course deals with. So we'll look at different examples, we'll look at different labs, we'll list out common issues, and I'm going to say, if this happens, then you don't need to be in this field, okay? By this point, you should know IP addressing, you should know your VLANs, intra-VLANs, trunking protocols, all that stuff, routing protocols, you should know that. But I am going to continuously update this for the next couple of weeks, because there is a lot of information that I want you to know so you can be ready for anything that they throw at you in that certification. So with all that said, I welcome you to the course. Study hard, keep it in order, all right? And I'll know that if you put in the work, you'll get certified. See you in the next.